For decades, Guy Penrod has been one of the most respected voices in gospel music. His deep, warm, and powerful singing has touched millions of hearts all around the world. From his early days to his years as the lead vocalist of the famous Gaither vocal band, Guy built not just a career, but a legacy. Fans admired him not only for his musical skills, but also for his calm, steady personality and the faith that shone through in everything he did. Whether singing in a large concert hall or a small church, he carried himself with humility and grace. His signature long hair, gentle smile, and peaceful presence became just as recognizable as his voice. To many people, Guy was not just a singer, he was an example of devotion, kindness, and living by one's values. Over the years, he became a symbol of strength for those going through challenges in life. His songs reminded listeners of hope, love, and the power of faith. But in recent years, something began to change. The man who was always on stage, always present, seemed to disappear from the spotlight. Concerts became fewer, public appearances stopped, and there was little news from him. Fans were left wondering, where is Guy Penrod now, and what happened to the voice they loved so much? At first, the changes were small and easy to miss. Guy started performing less often, and there were fewer updates on his social media pages. Months would pass without any new announcements about albums or tours. Interviews became rare, and even fans who followed him closely noticed the unusual quiet. As time went on, this silence became more noticeable. People who had grown used to seeing him regularly began to worry. Was he unwell? Had he quietly retired without telling anyone? Was there a personal issue keeping him away from the public eye? Without any official explanation, the uncertainty grew. And in today's age of instant news and online gossip, that uncertainty turned into speculation. Blog posts, YouTube videos, and social media comments started to appear, each one offering a different theory. Some claimed he had lost his voice, while others guessed he might be facing serious health problems. A few even suggested there might be trouble in his personal life. But no matter how wild or gentle the rumors were, there was one thing they all had in common. None of them were confirmed. The Penrod family chose to remain completely silent, leaving their fans with only questions. This silence was unusual for someone who had always been open about his faith and his life, and it made the mystery even deeper. After years of unanswered questions, Guy Penrod's wife, Angie Clark, decided it was time to speak. Angie has always been known for her grace, warmth, and strength, standing beside Guy through every stage of his career. She understood the love and concern fans felt for her husband, and she wanted to give them the truth in her own words. When she finally spoke, her message was clear. There was no scandal, no tragedy, and no secret crisis. Instead, the reason for Guy's absence was deeply personal and in many ways inspiring. Angie explained that after so many years of traveling, performing, and carrying the heavy responsibility of ministering through music, Guy had reached a point where he needed to pause. He wasn't tired of singing, and he hadn't lost his passion for music. But the constant demands of public life, the endless travel, and the expectation to always be on had left him exhausted. This wasn't an illness of the body or a crisis of faith. It was simply the human need to rest, reflect, and renew. She described how Guy began spending more time at home, focusing on prayer, meditation, and reconnecting with God in a deeper way. Angie wanted fans to understand that this was a deliberate choice, made out of love for his family, his faith, and his own well-being. In today's world, stepping back from the spotlight can be difficult, especially for someone with a long and successful career. Many performers feel pressure to keep going, afraid that if they stop, they will be forgotten. But for Guy Penrod, the decision was not about fear, it was about freedom. Angie shared how he chose peace over pressure, meaning over noise. After decades of giving his time and energy to audiences, Guy realized it was time to give that same energy to himself and his loved ones. This choice was not easy, especially knowing that fans might misunderstand his absence. Yet, Guy trusted that those who truly cared would understand in time. Angie described how the first months at home were filled with quiet moments, walking together on their farm, having long talks, praying, and simply enjoying the small blessings of life. Without the rush of travel, Guy was able to sleep better, eat well, and truly rest. He also began writing songs again, but not for a record label or a concert schedule, just for himself and for God. These songs were deeply personal, created in moments of stillness and inspiration. Through this slower, quieter life, Guy rediscovered joy in the simple things. He started mentoring younger gospel singers, guiding them not only in music, but also in living with faith and integrity. Life on the Penrod family's farm became a sanctuary. The land, the animals, and the peaceful surroundings gave them a sense of stability they had missed during the busy touring years. Angie explained that this time together brought them closer than ever. Without the constant distractions of public life, they were able to strengthen their marriage and enjoy the kind of everyday moments that many couples take for granted. Guy would spend mornings walking through the fields, afternoons reading or working on small projects, and evenings with Angie, sometimes just sitting together in quiet prayer. Although he was no longer performing as often, Guy never stopped inspiring others. His mentoring work with young artists became a new form of ministry, one that didn't require a microphone or a stage. Angie said this work brought him great satisfaction, as he could pass on his experience and values to the next generation of gospel musicians. This period of renewal was not about stepping away from music entirely. It was about finding a healthier, more meaningful way to stay connected to it. In her statement, Angie took time to address Guy's fans directly. She thanked them for their patience, their letters, and their prayers during the years of silence. She reminded them that public figures are also human beings with emotions, needs, and limits. Being in the spotlight does not mean sharing every part of one's life. Sometimes, stepping back is necessary for growth and healing. Angie shared that Guy had read many of the messages sent to him, and that he had been deeply touched by the kindness and concern people had shown. She reassured everyone that he is healthy, strong, and still singing, just at a pace that allows him to live with purpose. At 61, Guy is embracing a new chapter, one that focuses on faith, family, and meaningful work. Angie closed her message with a simple but powerful reminder: fame may fade, but faith remains. Those words captured the heart of their journey and offered comfort to those who had been worried. Guy Penrod's story is a reminder that success is not always measured by how often the world sees you. For many years, he sang on the biggest stages in gospel music, his silver hair and calm presence becoming a symbol of wisdom and peace. People respected him not just for his songs, but for the honesty and faith behind them. Now, without headlines or constant public attention, Guy is living a different kind of calling. He is still creating, still mentoring, and still serving others, but in a quieter way. Angie has stood by his side throughout this journey, proving that strength is not only shown in public moments, but also in private ones. Together, they have found beauty in a slower life, where the music is not always heard on stage, but felt in the heart. Their story is one of faith, love, and the courage to choose what truly matters. For fans who have missed seeing Guy, Angie's message is a reminder that sometimes the greatest blessings come when we step back, listen, and live with intention. And though the lights may be dimmer now, the song of their life is as strong as ever.